Haha, what's going on, guys? It's the man in black, the bad wolf himself. Also, in a little bit of yellow. This is a little homage or tribute to Bruce Lee. Um, so what's going on with you guys? I am outside, nowhere fancy, just outside the crib right now. So y'all may hear some traffic going by. I apologize in advance. But I just wanted to jump out here and see what's going on with all of you guys and do a little, little check the heartbeat of the United States of America. So, once again, as always, I want to thank each and every one of you guys who watch me and my channel for all of these years. It means a lot. You guys have been the ones who've helped me to further my education and to live a style than I did when I was growing up. So I want to tell each and every one of you guys, thank you, and don't give up on your dreams. All right. You have to be real with yourself. Whatever else, where you are, no pushing forward. All right. Said, the latest website, jameslovett.com, is doing very well. We have a number of videos on there, and for some people, if you haven't gone there, you might want to go there. But for all people, I'll tell you this: there might be a freebie on that website that you guys might want to check out. All right. That's all I'm going to say. I've loaded in some. Hold on one second. Told you there's going to be some noise. All right. So, yeah, I've loaded in some discounts for those people who are already subscribers to Bad Wolf Unincorporated. All right. And there are, if you read through the page, there's also some discounts on there. I'm going to have some more guest speakers sharing some deeper information come in the next season. But yeah, there might be a freebie or two on there for you guys to take advantage of. So yeah, go check it out. All right. Before we get into it, as always, I want to thank the man upstairs, Big G, for everything. And then, so when it comes to, I guess, the state of affairs for the United States and the United States of America, I mean, I guess we're all technically, legally one family. The biggest thing here, guys, is do not let them divide us. I don't care who you voted for. I don't care what side you're on. I don't care what your faiths are, what you believe and what you want to do, as long as you're not hurting anybody. You start hurting people, that's kind of a problem for me, especially in the land of free speech. There's a lot of groups out there that don't like me, and there's ones that I don't like especially, but I'm not going to go and hurt anybody, so I don't condone any of that, what it is. So keep your faiths and your beliefs and your political things, to yourself. Your political views out the window here. We don't do any of that kind of stuff here. But yeah, just understand that there are games being played, and whether you're look at it as red or blue, Dem or Repub, whatever, I don't really care. I'm treating and looking at each and every one of you guys as individuals. So, oh, there's a squirrel. I may or may not get attacked in a moment. We'll see. All right, seems like it's chill. But it's understanding that those are two heads of the same snake. It's a game. It's like, do you want to go in Diddy's bedroom or catch up with Meek Mills by the poolside? educationally speaking, entertainment purposes only. I'm just saying. So, it's, do you want it in the head or head or the gut, in the mouth or the butt? I mean, keep that in mind. So at the end of the day, guys, it's really about us taking care of each other, ourselves, and our responsibilities, our family. I've never seen one politician or president really ever come down, or speaker come down and help me personally. It's still going to be here. This is the price of groceries. This is what it is to go get gas. I got to put new tires on my car. I got to eat. I got to get my son to school. It's still going to always be that. So don't fall for the Jedi mind tricks of whatever else. But to anybody, period, out there who's lost a family member or friend, hold on. Condolences, because it is, especially for someone like me who's lost your mom and your dad, it's horrible. All right. And to put my personal business out there, at least a little bit, years back, probably about what, 10, almost, 9 or 10 years. I think it's been almost, man, at this point, maybe a little less. Anyway, I was going to a funeral, almost 2 funerals a month for a year straight. All right, when all the bad stuff started to happen to me and whatever else. So hopefully it's all knocked out of the universe at this point, or at least most of it. But the big thing here, guys, is not letting them divide us and you and your families, because that's where the elite, the cabal, pit hung up on it. That let's move on. So this video and time is dedicated to all the people out there who have gone through struggles, still going through struggles, and who've lost somebody. All right. So you guys also might hear some chimes in the background. I got some here, got some around the house. A lot of times, somebody brought this up to me, is that you don't hear like wind chimes or bells almost anymore. And I thought that was interesting. When I did my research, I came across a lot of stuff that, like, about some good, some bad, some fanciful, some wild, but I don't know if any of them are true, because if I did have the proof, I would bring it to you. But all I can say is they say that demons, negative spirits, and reptilians do not like the sound of wind chimes or bells. So makes you wonder why you don't hear almost any of them any day. So I'm gonna let mine play in the background. And if you start seeing any family members or things moving around in your house, let me know, because there might be some truth to it. Otherwise, with me, guys, I've been mostly okay. I think I got I should be at the end of it. The CVD 19er, we'll just call it. Okay. I think I got the latest variant. Me and my lady friend are, both, not feeling the greatest. I think I'm almost done. I think she caught it later on. So, which is interesting, because now I get a lot more sympathy. Speaking of the devil, I get a lot more sympathy from her, because she was like, "Oh, come on, it can't be that bad. Just push through." And now she's experiencing. She's like, "Oh, this is horrible." Even though we're almost always exposed every day, I think it's a mutant strain that hits you differently. And I've been pretty run down anyway. For those people who don't know, I ended up having a heat stroke twice within 2 months, because it was really hot over the last summer. And I was not hydrated enough. So, yeah, that happened. People said, love the Will Smith doll on the thumbnail. That's supposed to be me. It's not Will Smith. He's in enough trouble, from Diddy parties to crashing out on his stage. Yeah, well, you guys, I guess, usually do see me shaved. My girl likes me shaved, so I try to keep it shaved, but I look just like the little doll when I let it grow out, but I don't like to see all the gray. I know some girls, some ladies say they like to see the little pepper in there, but I'm trying to stay as young looking as possible. But hey, not bad for 49, right? It's kind of funny. There's some people out there on other YouTube channels, and they're like, "Oh, this boy, the bad wolf, blah blah blah. He's a young guy." And I'm like, young? I ain't been young, and shit, I'm gonna be 50 next year, so I don't know about all that. But it is what it is. Yeah, there's gonna be some people walking by. My tenant, she's just walked by. Awesome person. So let's see what else we got here. So as always, guys, you know me, I'm a big promo for copper. Let me know if the chimes get too loud or annoying. I'll try to pay attention. They're usually pretty soothing. I like to sleep and hear them at night blowing. Definitely better sleep. But as always, guys, make sure you guys drink out of your copper. Copper is a wonderful thing to have on your body, and it's definitely great to drink out of for all the reasons we can't really mention here, because you know how YouTube is with the whole censorship. But do your own research. So if you couldn't tell, I live pretty close to an airport. Apparently, they're doing test flights, so I'm going to apologize because you're going to hear that probably throughout the whole video because they just had to pick right now to do it. Yeah, so I know I'm on early. I just wanted to get some night things done. I wanted to get some sleep. I got a lot of projects I'm working on. I got some personal things because the law enforcement in my city, I don't know if you guys knew this, but there's no law or code that requires them to keep you updated when you have submitted information. So I submitted some information dealing with some family things, and they haven't really gotten back to me on it. So I have to go and file some more paperwork. Of course, let's keep in mind that these people also know who I am and what I do. So I'm pretty sure the paperwork is not moving too fast, if at all. So I had to go ahead and go above their helmet, we'll just say, the quote from Spaceballs, the movie, and submit some things and work on some things because we're not about to let some people get away with poor decision making. Okay. And that's one of the things, guys, is that make the best decisions you guys can. All right. A lot of times, a lot of people are not fighting demons or evil spirits or whatever. Even some of the people that you're fighting are because of your bad decisions. A lot of people have poor discernment. They just want to feel like they can do and get away with whatever they want. And unfortunately, depending on how the law is moving, they will get away with it for a long time. There's things that have been done to me that if I would have done them, I would be snatched off this live right now or have them come and pound on my door for the exact same things that other people have done. And just to put it out there to a small degree, I'm talking about my son's mother. All right. So she can rot in hell. And I said it. So, of course, everything here, as always. So when I tell you guys that like everything that I show you on like my channel and on my TikTok and Instagram and Snapchat and whatever else, it's because I've gone through these things. So every single file, remedy, method that I give to you guys, it's because I've gone through it or I'm going through it. And once I make my way through it, then I give it to you guys. So unlike a lot of other people, my stuff is time tested and true. But I'll tell you this, a lot of this stuff, man, it really sucks going through it and going through it by yourself. So that's why I created this channel, is to be able to say, hey, if you guys want a little bit of help when you go through the land of the lost and the river of the ragged, I got you. I'm gonna help you out. Whereas a lot of people out there, they want to play the game, they want the money, they want the fame, they want to chase booty. Oh, look at me, I'm better than the bad wolf. Come over here, spend some time with me, type ass. NIGGASs. And that's what it is. And don't get me wrong, there are white and black versions. There's Asians, there's all types. All right, so I'm not just talking about of color, but surprisingly, I would say out of like the 10 places on the internet of the people who don't like me, a number of them are actually brothers and they just want to hate. And that is just a horrible thing that they've got. We're all supposed to be on the same side, but a lot of them are, and don't get me wrong, there's some lawyers, there's some police officers, who are also on the same thing. You know what I mean? So that's why I appreciate you guys putting the thumbs up on the videos, because there's always a consistent couple who always like to put the thumbs down. But let's get back to it. All right. So let's see what we got in the comments. Don't forget, guys, I will be accepting questions as we go through. Don't forget to hail or let everybody know where you're hailing from, what republic or what micronation you guys have created. So let's jump into some of the questions here. Let's see what we got in the comment section. I don't expect a ton of people beyond this early. I don't even know if there might be a game going on. I may even jump back on later on tonight. I don't even know yet. We'll see. I just kind of want to have my night free to rest and, you know, chillax. Okay, let's see here. We got Mama of 4. Thank you in advance for the information. Nothing but love. Right back at you, Mama of 4. Got a plane getting ready to come over. Appreciate you looking nice in your picture. Dream Team says wave. Going on. Darkness says love the Will Smith doll on the thumbnail. I mean, you know, it's supposed to be me, but I mean, if claiming that it's Will Smith gets me more views, I'll take it. All right, we got a new member. Everybody, appreciate and thanks Monica Wilson. Thanks for coming to the tribe and for subscribing and becoming a member. It is appreciated. Hopefully, like I said, I don't want anybody to join anything or to pay me anything monthly unless like you're getting value from this or you appreciate what I'm doing. A lot of you guys don't, and I'll be honest, like I didn't grow up famous or wealthy. I'm still not that famous and I'm still not wealthy, but I will say I'm getting more infamous. Like I'd say 2 out of 3 or 4 times or 5, I'd say about maybe like 30% of the time I go out now, maybe 40, 30, 35, we'll say, that, you know, people starting to recognize me. And, you know, at first they can't place me like, man, you look familiar, are you on the internet at all? You know, usually I just try to downplay it, you know, or whatever else and go about my business. But if they they know it's me, you know, I definitely stop and say hi and let them know I appreciate it. All right, what else we got here? The IRS told me I owed money after not filing when sent the revocation of election. I sent the 15 and haven't heard back from them since. Yeah, so understand, guys, like I said, I will not ever put you guys in a position where you're going to get screwed. But at the same time, you cannot use this information. I know some people will. That's human nature. Everything I said don't do, someone was like, that's exactly what I'm going to do. Thanks, Wolf. And then it makes all of us look dumb when bad people use this good information for their bad purposes. But in this particular case, if everything, Michael, you did everything right as far as your revocation, you fill out your papers at your work or for your own entity, if you're working for yourself or whatever else, what generally will happen is they'll say you owe money. Now, if anybody wants the full deep dive on the IRS, like all the forms and things I've learned, go to jamesclovett.com. There's a freebie video on there, but there's a paid streaming video for IRS. Everything I've learned, like literally, I think it's probably like 95, 98% of everything I've learned is in the IRS video on jamesclovett.com. It's a good video to watch. There's all the inside stuff. Well, we'll say most. I ain't gonna lie to you guys. Most of the inside stuff I've learned that I give away to people in consultations are in those videos on Skeeter, jamesclovett.com. That's the whole purpose of that website. Is people kept asking me for a little bit, a little more. So I put 95, 98% of it in those videos. All right. It's well worth the money. Like I said, I try to keep it everything in there reasonable. I even have a discount if you want to get like all the videos there compared to what they would be if you bought them individually. So there's a price for that, but it doesn't include all the videos because the platform I'm on won't let me add in more videos to the pack for some reason. I guess they have a limit on how much I can let you guys stream. So I may have to get another video platform, or I may have to pull some old videos or videos that people really don't like or are watching. But anyway, I digress. So if you sent them the 15103, you've essentially told them, if you fill it out the way I showed, that you are tax exempt. Now, if you claim that your employer that you were taxable, don't try to just use these methods to try to cover it up. Contact me. There are ways to deal with legitimately owned debts. Okay? Because they will ignore your filing. You're not going to sneak anything by these people. Although I will say not all of them are really that bright. But there's ways of handling it if you do owe money. And there's been ways, I'm working on ways right now that even if you owe money, that you can file a certain way and then you can get money even though you technically owed money. Let's just say you legally owed money, but lawfully there might be a way of recouping that. We're not finished with that. We're still working on it. So don't hit me up on that one just yet. I like to test things out, make sure everything's legit, by law, by the book. But to finish up, Michael, what will generally happen is either they'll go quiet. They usually give you like a window of 60 days. And then generally they'll transfer it to what they refer to as the frivolous department. Once the frivolous department gets it, they're going to fact check it. They're going to go and pull records. They're going to contact your employer. They're going to pull the old W-2, W-4, et cetera, et cetera. And they're going to see if you have a legitimate debt. Know that to me. And we're now weeks past their cutoff date. What does that really mean? It means that they forfeited their claim. And they didn't respond back within the time. They didn't ask for an extension. So the frivolous department is your files, your previous years. I kind of look at it as the legal department. So don't let them scare you if they say they're sending it to the legal department or the frivolous. That's exactly where you want it to go. You want them to fact check your work. And if you've done everything right that I've said, you're A-okay. Once again, can't make any promises and guarantees over the internet, blah, 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 because, you know, the law works. And this is not to be considered financial or legal advice from your favorite non-belligerent, non-combatant, Lord of Levitica. Let's see what else we got here. Nothing but love for you, God. Well, I'll take that. I definitely will call myself a lowercase G God, not, you know, the big G. I wouldn't want that job. Oh man, just watch and appreciate you. Dream Team says the beast system is falling now. Yes. Hallelujah. 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 Thank you in the name of the great grand creator. Oh, there goes that squirrel. He's checking me out. I don't have any food, dude. Are you gonna rob me on air? Okay. Hold on. He's looking for nuts and stuff. I'm glad I didn't bring my mixed nuts out here I was gonna eat on, because dude probably would have jacked me. All right, he's walking off. I do straight up turn and was like, I mean, I am on the north side of my city, which is usually where wild stuff happens, but like I seen a squirrel come out of my garbage can. He was eating some chicken from Popeyes. It's so wild and ghetto. Have you all heard about the squirrels eating meat over in California too? I don't even know. But yeah, Dream. Yeah, the cabal, the elite, they knew this day was coming. They called it the Great Awakening. And they straight up said that they knew that they were only going to have a limited time running this. So what they're really doing, if you guys want to go esoteric for a moment, I usually don't do this on my channel or on this channel, but on Bad Wolf Unlimited, follow me over there. I'm going to go into all the little energy, alien, wild, whatever the hell stuff over there. Because you don't think I'm good at this stuff? Man, well, I am. But definitely also good at the other stuff. Where's it going with the point? Yeah, so they knew that their time was limited. Oh, so what they've been trying to do is, and you guys can believe it or not, it's totally up to you. Also, somebody says, Hazen says, get those likes up. Yeah, there should be at least one like per person. All 21 of you guys. I want to see 21 likes. All right. Unless, you know, you're from the opposing YouTube channels of the people who don't like me, and that's fine too. They can watch, listen, and learn. If they're watching me, they're not bothering you guys. I'll take that. So, but yeah, what they want to do, believe it or not, this is part of their little cabal, their little backdoor stuff. Like I said, I still got some contacts with some of these groups and people, we'll just say, is we create with our energy and our thoughts and our perceptions of the future. So if you keep saying you won't win the lottery, then you won't. If you keep putting that, and you say things and you're like, oh man, I was just saying it, or I was just talking about so and so. That's because energy is very real, and you're manipulating energy. We are co-creating the future and this particular timeline. We're artists, lowercase g gods, focused on these things and creating them as we see fit. So believe what you want to believe. You don't have to believe it. I'm not here to convince you guys of anything. It's never been my MO. One of the things I want to talk to you guys too is, and they're not paying me for it, but if they ever want to, we can probably work something out. Which, by the way, you guys may see, because the donations have been a little light. Brothers got to make some money. Some commercials in the beginning, or ads in the beginning of some of my videos, because now that I'm getting to almost 100,000, I had said no to all of them, but that also then makes them want to be on my channel even more. So you might start to see some ads in there, because they pay pretty decent for a 30 or 60-second ad. Let me tell you. All right. All I need is 2 ads a month, and your boy will be okay. All right. But these people are here. My girl put me onto them. Paleo Valley beef sticks. They're good. They're not loaded with sugar. They help you get through the day. This is not an ad for them. I just really like their product, to be honest. They're about $1 a stick. I like the garlic ones. I don't think my girl likes that I like the garlic ones. Another thing I want to bring to you guys' attention too is, because we're not only just here about the legal stuff and the lawful stuff and the jurisdictions. I'm also here to help you guys live a higher quality of life. So please join me on my other YouTube channel, Bad Wolf Unlimited. The third channel is the Bad Wolf Media channel. That's where I'm going to talk about all the things that are on the news. Okay. Unlimited, I'm going to talk about everything. All right. Nothing, want to know what I really think about somebody or whatever else on that channel, I'm going to put it out there. This one, I like to keep pure. But speaking of pure, not the water filter, even though I do have one. So these people here at Water Drop, right? They have, and I'm not getting paid for this. This is just something I've always wanted since I was a kid, because where we have the water's okay, but it's not great. They have a triple stage under sink water filtration system called Water Drop. Now, I know what you're thinking. You're probably like, oh, come on, Wolf, man. Like, it's going to be expensive. I think this was like 40 or 50 bucks off of Amazon, right? Something like that. And it's a 3-tank unit that removes a lot of almost everything, like bacteria and, a lot of chemicals and stuff like that, we'll just say. The unit's already put in my house, otherwise I would show it to you. But let me tell you this. It took me maybe 15 minutes at the most to put it in. I put 2 screws that it comes with, hung it. There's one arm you put in this side, one arm you put in this side. That's it, literally. And then you take this arm and you turn off your cold water under your sink. This can go in any room. And you, right where the cold water comes out, you take this arm, connect that one. The one that goes to the sink, you take that one, plug it in. That's it. And I plugged mine into the cold water side. So every time now that I run cold water, it's not only cold, but it's filtered. All right. I've got one on my shower for those people who don't know, because if you don't have one on your shower, you're bathing in the particular chemicals that may or may not be in your particular water supply. And that is going onto your skin and whatever else. And then as you're in there, the steam, you're breathing some of that in too. Once again, this channel's not for this stuff particularly, but I just want to bring it to your attention. And but like I said, the unlimited channel, that's where I'll be talking more over there, because like I said, they are really I don't know if it's just me. Well, I know it's not just me, but let's just say there's reasons why they don't like me across the board, because I call everybody out. I hold everybody to their accountability. I mean, whether it's, God rest her soul now, my mom, my girl, that's why we broke up at one point in time. I'll hold anybody accountable. Like, you're doing it wrong. You're acting wrong. Your brain, you're not thinking right. For those people who want to listen, people don't want to listen, it is what it is, and they probably aren't really going to be my friends or family in the first place. We should always be able to debate things, and if we disagree, then we agree to disagree. We should still be able to be cool. All right. Hayes Info 38 says, get those likes up. I appreciate you, Hayes. Miscellaneous 17 says, what's up, Brother James? What's going on, Brother Miscellaneous 17? This is a kingdom. Okay. I remember you because I remember, I think we did a treaty. Yeah. Yep, we did get the micronation out. People are starting to learn the power of a private entity. It doesn't even have to be a micronation. It can be your own private government, which if you want to learn how to do that, jameslovett.com. I've got videos on how to do that. Making your own private nation, government, trust, whatever else is a very powerful thing. Doesn't mean that they won't tread on you, but what it means is that if they do, you sue them. We're not done being nice, but we are done taking it on the chin. I still promise and offer not the time, if they're going to disrespect you or your rights, your nation, international law, state, federal, whatever, sue them. All right. And the passport card works, by the way. Well, hopefully you're not doing anything that you need to do that. And as always, got to tell you, do not ever go out, I'm not saying that they did, and try to test it. It's stupid. Just like a good friend of mine, through the years of consultations and stuff now, today emailed me and they're like, yeah, first thing out of the email, Wolf, I need your help. I was speeding through this particular state, and I know in the state, I'm already working with somebody who's had the same thing happen. Let's just say Utah is a very notorious state to not mess around in. Arkansas either. All right. Do not speed. Matter of fact, as I've always said, do not speed anywhere, because you're giving them, when you speed, even though you might think it's cool, I might get there a couple minutes quicker, it's not worth it. Not when these people are going to bother you. When you speed, you're opening your nation, saying that you're basically saying something might be wrong, and I want any public official to help me or get into my business. That's what you're saying. Come inspect me. I might have been, because you think of it this way, if you were kidnapped or hurt and the guy or chick or whoever's got you in your car in your back trunk, and they're speeding, zoom, you would want the police to pull you over. You want them to check out, why is that guy speeding? Must be up to something. So don't speed. Do not give them. It's a public invite for them to get involved. And when you speed, you're waiving your rights to being private and unknown. Otherwise, you have all that by law. They're not supposed to bother you unless you have no plate on or they suspect you of committing a crime. And if you speed, they get to perceive that you are possibly, you need assistance or that you are doing something criminal. Okay, so don't invite them into your business. But yes, the passport booking card works. That's why I shared it with you guys. Because I heard from other people it worked. I talked to people who've used it, seen through their affiliations, police officers who aren't supposed to do this, show what's on their computer. And yeah, so it's a fact. I've literally seen through a secondary party the printout, educationally speaking. Damn, why y'all deleting my comments? I was trying to show love. He refunded me when I needed it badly. Thank you. Just watching. Yeah, I've got moderators. I don't, as long as anybody's not putting anything like malicious, it's fine. I have, even though my website says I do not provide refunds, because once you have my information, you can just go and do whatever you want to do. So if you buy it, it's yours. But in some situations, if somebody is hurting or they've got bigger things to go on, yes, I do refund. But also just watching, keep in mind that it might be the AI, because everything is AI now, so it might be an AI moderator on there. Excuse me. Yeah. Once you know what's going on, guys, they'll leave you alone. All they want is for you. See, the way it was explained to me through a third party who dealt with a federal agent who knows who I am and works with this one person. The way they look at it as they all consider the public to be stupid. And so when you do something like what we're doing, these files on our own, they look at there's no way they could have it right. How could they possibly know our IRS system, our codes like 25.1.1.3.3, tax avoidance versus tax evasion, and IRS form W8BEN or whatever. And they filled it out right because that's their job. And if you worked with one of their agents, which they don't have enough to do that with, then they're like, okay, you did it right. We're not even bother you. You did everything right from jump. But from their perspective, we should know what we know. All right. So they're just like, you probably got it wrong, because those forms are really supposed to be filled out by them, the knowledgeable in this particular avenue or arena. There's always something on my side of town. Okay, it says, waiting for them to determine my ens legis taxes. Yep, we talked about that. There are numerous ways to deal with them. Silent Walk says, what's up, Bad Wolf? What's going on, Silent? If it's good, then eat. If no, need to explain. Facts. That's what I love about you guys, is that you guys are on it. Silent Walk, yeah. That and I'm not saying this is better, but I have a all right, there we go. Signal bounced out. I don't know. I'm right by the router, so I don't know why it's doing that. But apologize for those. Don't trip. I'm cool. Everything's good. Don't send the posse out. But yeah, so in the hot tub that I have, it's not a big one. It's average size, but I use bromine in there. And as they say, most things in small amounts are okay for you, but still yet, I would stay away from most chemicals because they don't know what especially if it's a combination over years of being exposed to a lot of that stuff. There you go. Wolf, I see you, G. You are a worthy brother. Hey, it takes one to know one. All right. To know a good brother is to also be one, because a lot of people don't you can't recognize something or levels that you ain't been to. That's one of the biggest things I've been showing my lady and other people, especially on TikTok, is that like you can have a perception, and my girl will even admit, she's like years, like I've grown a lot, and I want to thank her, for helping me and her kids to grow, because where she was at that point in time, like a lot of people, myself and I'm on my square, I'm right. And then, but we've all said that. And then a year, 2 years, 10 years, whatever it is later, we're like, oh man, I wasn't as right as I should be, but I'm gonna just keep going. You know, that is life though. Like I said, and that's fine as long as you're not hurting anybody or playing with anybody's time, or money. Activated carbon. First of all, I love activated carbon. Love and understanding, James. Appreciate you. Just got an Amazon delivery. I'm the last of my bloodline with 3 kids now. So yes, the tribal micronation traveling place in a trust. Yep. I feel you right now. There are a lot more people in our family. Through me, I only have one son, and that is one of the reasons and individuals that I do a lot of this for too, is something to leave him and for all of our kids in the future to, or I should say offspring, excuse me, so that they can change the future. We're opening the door, but they're the ones who need to run with this. So yeah. Over 10K in taxes. Your landlord owes you 10K in taxes. That's a new one. There's that Utah word again. Yeah, they're they're pretty anal out there. I just pulled the Utah non-resident registration legislative code. I don't have it on me right now. But that's what you're going to need with your other forms and files to shut those cases down against you. I guess they think that it's sweet. And then I guess they're hoping that not everybody has their stuff together like I do. Which one of the people contacted me there, theirs wasn't, but we're working. There's like 2 or 3 people that I'm in conversation with in Utah, if I'm correct. See, a lot of times when you guys contact me, I have hundreds of cases going, and actively probably, like close, probably a good 12 or 15 that as a wasp or something, intimately have knowledge of. The other ones we're waiting for things to come back. So that's why I'm saying I can't really give a lot of free advice. I already got way too much going on, which is why I didn't ever really want to become like a lawyer or an attorney, which I did at one point in time, but man, there's so much going on. But they make a whole lot more money than me, and I'm the one giving you guys actual remedies. They're just trying to give you something that'll help get you along a little bit. I was at a light and likely questioned my plates. He was very good at talking about the different jurisdictions. Yes, there are some cops and police out there who are cool and they know what's going on. Usually the ones that aren't going to bother you are the ones during the day, as long as you stay under the speed limit, which staying at or under the speed limit is how it should be done anyway. A lot of them, their buddies have been sued. They don't want to be sued. If I was a municipality like the state of Utah or the Utah police, I would make sure that my officers were properly trained, which a lot of them are not across the nation, on right to travel. A lot of them do not even know about that each state has a non-resident registration code in their state's legislative system. They don't know that. They are taught either that person's a U.S. citizen or they're a foreign national. And then they also, almost all of them know the term private citizen. For them, the term private citizen is what we refer to as a national. All right. even though they themselves are also nationals, but not while they're working. And yes, I've had tons and tons of police officers actually contact me, asking if they can do it with their cars, and some other things. And I was like, not your patrol car. That's commercial and public. Technically, though, police are private security for the municipality for U.S. citizens, and anybody operating outside of that jurisdiction as a private citizen in that capacity, or a foreign entity or foreign national, they do not have jurisdiction over you unless in the moment you're committing a crime or doing something illegal. Okay, that's how the law works. Yeah, Dream, they're doing something. I think what they want to do is they want to collapse the dollar and then move us into crypto and then get away from the paper dollar, because that will remove a lot of our freedoms and won't be more going down the block and paying $40 for that something something, or that 50. We'll just say, and there ain't going to be any more hiding no money in things, but you still will be able to pull it off of the system and put it onto something digital, which is good and bad. But they're going to be able to track that too, to a good degree. Because, see, you'll probably go on like Amazon and buy a cold storage wallet with your credit card. So that links, the transaction number will link, and then the serial number for the device. So they want to get rid of paper money. Hey, you and Path to Freedom should do like a cross interview. She knows who I am. She's never reached out to me. I don't do a whole lot of interviews. I just, and their interviews with their people and viewers trying to be against me. Like one of them, I won't mention the name. I slid in there under my real name, James. You love it, but they were expecting the Bad Wolf name to pop up, and they're all, "Oh yeah, I can't wait till he gets in here, and you're gonna do this to him, and you're gonna la 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 la." And I was like, "And bye." Zoop, left. Well, I don't play those games. I'm not here to do the shock and awe or the clap back or whatever else. And I don't think she would be that way. I just like to get to know people before I go on their show, because I'm not trying to be involved in any controversy or whatever else. And sometimes the person does have shady history. I'm not saying she does at all, or that channel. I don't know them like that. But then that can make me look like I'm affiliated with that. Sometimes people like to ride your name, up or ride you down. So I just tend to try to stay away from interviews a whole lot and just keep it simple. But if I get to know that person, they reach out, we talk, and I feel comfortable, then maybe. I will be this Thursday on the Fearless Floyd show. For those people who don't know, Floyd is like a brother to me, and the second nicest shirt wearing gentleman that I know. But I will be on his show on Thursday. I think it's going to be around 7 or 8 o'clock Central, something like that. But maybe I'm not opposed to it. It's just, I don't do a whole lot of them. Julian Boone, I've got some wild experiences with national status. Well, if you want to share, you could possibly either jump in on this video, depending, or we can possibly do a video at some point in time. Otherwise, email me. Let me know some things. We'll talk. Put your phone number in there, and I'm always down to learn new ins and outs, because that's how I got here, is by listening to people and learning some things. And literally, the public means like cattle. Yeah, that's exactly what it is. Yep. They wouldn't accept the W8BN, then offer them the 673, or create a tax-exempt faith-based trust and use that instead, or else fill out the W4, put 0 on the 4B line. I think that's, and then mark exempt next to it. All right. we've covered a lot of that stuff before on the videos. 38. Yeah, they're dragging their feet with everything. All right, so you're just gonna have to be patient. There is not a damn thing you can do to make them when you're asking them for service, the benefit, the privilege. Even like me, I'm not against the police by any means. I've been really cool. I've worked with them. They've worked with me. But they're going to drag their feet. There's not much more you can do. You just got to be patient. Matter of fact, just go on to other new things and forget all about it. Matter of fact, some of the things I've requested through FOIA, and I know why they're not giving them to me, have been over 2 and 3 years now. I was surprised, though, one of the secretaries actually contacted me through my email, which is weird. And they were like, "You still want these forms?" And I was like, "Yes." And they're like, "Which ones?" And I told them, and they're like, "Okay." That was it. That was almost a year ago. No, not a year. Let me be honest. It's probably about 7-8 months ago for sure. Yeah, I just send it off, and if it comes, it comes, and then I'll make a show for it. But I'll tell you this: if any of them do come, the shows are going to be fire, because I'm going to be able to shut down all these naysayers on so many levels, even more so than we've already done here. But that's the thing that gets me. It's like, I could just have access to the things I want, but they're not going to let that happen. What room? I don't know what you're talking about, Monk 912. What about authenticating birth certificates? Remember, the only ones that need to be authenticated are the very generic green, blue ones that come from the state of. They will not contain the word live. They will not contain mom, dad signatures, doctor name, birth, weight, time, blank. Generally, we only do for the passport process. In general, you don't need to do them. And you only really need to do them on one level. Yes. I know before you guys say it. But Wolf, you said they need to be on 2 levels. I did say that years ago. Here's the truth. However, if you choose to make a statement to them, then yes, you may do both levels. Sometimes they will not allow you to do that. And understand this, there are 3 levels to authenticating. There's the county, there's the state, and federal. So there's 3 levels of authentication that you can do, or getting it apostilled or apostilled. All right, but you don't need to apostille or apostle your birth certificate. All right, because it's already in that jurisdiction. Authenticate means to be brought into the private. Apostille or apostille is to bring it out. It's the opposite direction. But only the ones that are, if it has living information, it's already authenticated. It's a certified copy, and it should have the power as the original. Even though to me, it doesn't, it feels dirty, because they take your original and make a copy of it on their paper with their official seals and things, and it just feels dirty. It's like, I probably shouldn't even say it like this, but you know what? Okay. It's not like you go to P. Diddy's house and you get roughed up in the back room and they tear your drawers off. And then like the next morning you wake up and your clothes are in shreds, but he like gives you like bits and pieces of your clothes back, but then puts Sean John clothes on you and is like, all right, go out there. You know what I mean? Like, it just feels dirty, but legally, yes. The certified copy has the same power jurisdiction as the original. Just feels dirty. Silent walk. Yes, you are correct. A majority of people do not know this. And if you guys are seeing this or you know it, then you are in the, we'll call it the 5% club. All right. Because not, but that's why you guys are out there using this and doing it, and it's growing. I see you as a big brother and mentor. I wish to do what you do. Oh, appreciate you. Appreciate you. Yeah. Just keep learning. Just keep, can't stop, won't stop, don't stop. What's Dib Zaddy, what's going on? Woof. Oh, I haven't done one in a while. I don't know if I got the, I mean, woo, woo, woo. Let's go. Let's go. Let's get them. Guns up. Or not actual guns. Some of the guns. Don't want YouTube all getting jazzy. We're talking about the arms, as in your physical arms. They be real sensitive when it comes to what I say on here or what I show. I'll just tell you this. They also pulled a video recently. Yes, I would definitely recommend people look up 12 USC 411 for financial means. Okay. If I didn't respond and if you sent it today, Sunday, I don't really check a whole lot of anything until Monday. So if you sent it before that and I didn't respond one way or another, then I didn't get it or it went to my spam. So hit me again. Yes, yes, that is a move. I made videos on that. That is one of the things that they do not really want you guys to know about. Is that is another form of taking control over your straw man. Just saying, dropping some bars, dropping some gems here. The ultimate way out of the system. Well, it depends on what your definition of out of the system would be. But if it's like mine, it would be to renounce your U.S. citizenship, but they make that a trap. The moment you go to fill out any paperwork, it suddenly mysteriously says, renounce your nationality. Kind of funny how they sweat you about you wanted to just get rid of your U.S. citizenship, but then all their documents say you want to get rid of your U.S. nationality. Because if you get rid of your U.S. nationality, then it also gets rid of and drops your U.S. citizenship. But all the government's documents who's responsible for that say nationality. But then they try to, some of them, not all, try to downplay that there is a thing such as nationality. Oh, but wait, here's something they don't want you guys to know. 8 FAM 301.1-1, letter B, I think, talks about there's a difference here in the United States of America between citizenship and nationality. And by the way, thank you, Department of State, and through the Foreign Affairs Manual for correcting the code after I told you guys that some of it was wrong. They literally have made corrections because I, a regular person, was like, yeah, this is the wrong code. And then that means their legal department was made aware of it, watched my video, they discussed it, they researched it and found that I was right. Multiple times now. So when there's these other, we'll just call them buttholes, want to sit here and say that I'm wrong or I don't know what I'm talking about, I've won almost everything across the board since day one of learning this. And they watch my channels. I've had other people tell me that through some of these agents, they're like, yeah, we know the bad wolf is. Even though there is somebody who's cockjocking me with the name Bad Wolf, but he's like a white guy, and he's gotten himself into a lot of trouble because apparently he's not doing things by the book, by law. See, I give these people their respect. I don't want nothing if I don't have to use it from them. I do not want to mess up their process. So I learn it. I call these people, is this how you do this? I want their approval on it. What's your name? What's your agent number? Okay, blah, blah, blah. And then I move forward. Oh, yeah. All right. So, yeah. So all these people out there with these other channels who don't like me, that's cute. I remember my first beer, but I don't see them watching your videos. I don't see you correcting them and then them making the corrections. It's cute. A lot of them just want to clap at me so that they can try to get some kind of clout. But yeah, to get out of the system, if you truly want to get out, you're going to have to renounce. And then when you renounce, tell them that you want to cancel your U.S. citizenship, not your nationality. Unless you want to get rid of that too, then yeah, but then you're stateless. So you better have either your own nation or be in or ready to go to another nation. There's no way of getting out of the whole system. You're going to have to go into somebody else's system and I mean, even if you go to another country, then you need to get land there. Even if you're here, you still have to buy the land unless you're just going to live in like a national forest. So it's just, there's levels to this game. Low key, I've been living rent free for over a year and had 2 sponsor free finding discrepancy. Then the least long story short, we do not have to read 9%. Yeah, I generally don't like to live in the gray area when it comes to things because, that can swing left or right. I like to be so square in the right of the law that they're like, stupid bad wolf. And that's what happens. Problem for me is that when I then do turn around and need them for something, then they're like, oh yeah, we'll get right to it. And it's like, okay, what's going on? They're like, oh yeah, we're good. We're good. We got it. Simmer down. That's the worst part of it. And it makes me want to do some very dark woods wolf stuff, but can't because it'll only make things worse. Rocks with you too, brother. Hey, brother to brother, man. We're all brothers in this. Well, most of us. People here, yes. Some brothers on YouTube want to besmirch my name. It is what it is. But I'll tell you this, it's funny because at first I was hot. I was mad about it. I was like, I'm going to go and contact them. I'm going to debate them. We're going to go at this. I was like, you know what? I'm not 12. I'm not finna throw sand or monkey fecal matter in the sandbox and deal with them. If that's how they feel, that's how they feel. And if they want to clap and try to make a name off themselves off of me, cool. But what I didn't foresee is them making those videos about me was only going to be in my benefit because then those people went and tried to clown, but then they're like, man, but he's telling the truth and he's showing the code. He's giving all this stuff away for free or almost all of it. And then my numbers keep going up. So you were saying, Monk 912 was saying, what up to the room? Yeah, everybody. Yeah. If you guys want to share what what you guys got going on, where you're located, and don't put your address on there, just mean the state or your nation. Rock that in the comment section. To delete DMV records. Oh man. So you can write them a letter, send it registered, and you can quote, there is a federal law on right to deletion. So look up federal law on right to deletion. And then there's, I think it's the GDPR or CR rules of deleting information. You can use those two to go after them for that. And I think the only way around it for them is if the government tells them, not they, because they're not the government, states aren't the government. If the federal government says, no, you need to keep those files in that person, then they can keep them. Because you gave. So they don't have to give it back now. But there's really no strong laws other than the right to deletion federal law. And it's kind of flaccid, we'll say. And then I think it's the GDPR. I'm actually going to make a video on that probably next week or something like that. Otherwise, you could go at it through a copyright thing and tell them you've copyrighted your name and that you own all that, because we know that they're making money on it. So then they either have to cut you in on the money, or you can tell them to delete your information, but they probably won't. to do is name change, remove or to not allow for the association of your legal name to be used. Okay. What's the next step when you send out for your minor estate? That is something I do not know enough about. I'm still working on that. There are some people who claim to know the whole process to that. For those people who don't know what they're talking about, when you're under 18, your estate is created. It's called your minor estate. And we've talked about a little bit on how to control the straw man and doing your age of majority, which is when you get to be 18 or older, you're supposed to get all your stuff. But because you don't know how to do the age of majority and we don't know how to do other things associated, we can't fully encapsulate, take all of our stuff and run. What's the best way to deal with jury duty? Well, depending on, if you're just talking about getting out of it, there's tons of different ways. I've made lots of videos on that, but generally is either to send them an affidavit and inform them that you are not a resident of this state, and so you are not qualified by law to attend, and that if you did, you would be committing fraud and perjury and claiming to be a fictitious entity. What else? There's a couple other things I can't think of them off the top of my head. But there's medical reasons. There's if you're sick. If you've got explosive bathroom problems, and of course, if you want to be crude, you could say that you don't like people of certain colors or races, and then they're like, oh, yep, nope. Or you can tell them that you believe in criminal activity, and then they're gonna be like, nope. I'm not saying do these things. I'm just saying that there are methods, educationally speaking. Tribe, I may or may not be able to help you with that. Email me. I can take a look at what you got going on before doing a consult. That could be a regular consult. If it's more court-based, like helping you out myself with your court case, there's a different charge for that. And so I need to know what you're looking to do and kind of what's going on before I can guide you, or if I even know how to help with that particular scenario. I can usually help about 95% of everybody that comes my way, but I don't want to tell you I can do something I can't. So got to know about it, and then I can go from there. I know you sent about 2 weeks ago. Okay, yeah. If I didn't respond, it was 2 weeks ago. Yeah, I didn't see it. Even if it's something I'm like, yeah, I can't do that, I'll usually respond quickly with something real short. So send it again if you want me to review it, or yeah, because I didn't see it. I mean, if you don't hear from me within 3 days, 4 days, then I didn't get it, or it went right to my spam folder. That happens sometimes. Silent Watch says, always great content. Bad Wolf humor is great. Thanks. I appreciate you guys, man. A lot of people ask, they're like, are you like putting, no, this is just me. I am way more goofy and silly than this. This is me bridging both worlds. I'm trying to have a little humor, have a little of that, but it's all just me being just natural. I never, nothing you guys have ever seen has ever been scripted. I don't sit down and script. I don't edit. Once I can find a program to help me make some cool openings and closings, better than what I've already have now, I'll probably use those. But yeah, everything here is just off the cuff, man. I don't plan any of it. Just whatever pops up. Ghost says, also had 2 tickets disappear from a state trooper after endorsing it without recourse. Yes. Without recourse, another one that they hate, Ghost, is non-negotiable. If you write non-negotiable on your stuff or without recourse, they hate it, because negotiable means they can't convert it into a credit. Now, understand, people, this does not mean you can write that on everything and it's just everything's going to magically go away. They're afraid of you, etc. It's not what it is. There's usually more to it, but these are things that definitely will help. Lady almost drove over my lawn. She was so busy trying to look over here at me. That was crazy. I mean, I didn't think I was looking that good today. I mean, I'm all right, I'm going in. But yeah, they don't like the words without recourse. They do not like the words non-negotiable. They do not like UCC 1-308. It is like green kryptonite to Superman. Because remember, they're here for making money. These are all things that prevent them from making money on these things. And it definitely does not mean you can go out there and just break the law and be like, oh, I got like 3 words I'm going to put on. It's going to be smooth. Because all they're going to do is play with you and make time. And they're making money off of the court case. So just stay cool. That's the biggest thing. I look at it as this. I'm not going to do nothing to help them make money. I used to speed everywhere when I was younger. Now I don't speed nowhere. Matter of fact, a lot of times, especially with the price of tires. Oh my God. Oh my God. I ain't bought tires in a while because I like to Uber half the time when I'm going out or whatever else, especially if I'm going out drinking, which is a lot. So I went and put new tires on the vet. I was like, oh no, no more burnouts for me. I get on the freeway real chill now, blinker and everything. All right, I had them destroy the title, my registration, my driver's license, all that gone. I have nothing but the passport. So then they destroyed private property. You sue them. Like I said, take it to court. Take them to federal court. Sue them. If they destroy your property, sue them. They're not gods. They're not invincible. They have a lot of little squirrely ways of getting out, but go after the police station themselves. A lot of people try to go after the police officer, and they should be mentioned for what they did in the lawsuit. But if you guys want an inside thing, go after the municipality. The municipality can't hide, and it is ultimately responsible for the actions of its officers or its court members. You try to go after them, they like to hide, even though you can usually still then get a default judgment. But the state level they're slimy. It's like trying to nail Jello to the wall. So go after the municipality. Those can't hide. Sue them for damage of property, state given property, which is then private property to you. And if it was like a birth certificate or something like that, that's a security. So securities, destruction of securities. North Carolinian in the house. What's going on, DJ? Jeff West says, can I get your phone number? Whose phone number? Mine or somebody in the comments section? I never know if you guys are. The best way to get out is passport. That is definitely a good way to use. I mean, that's the passport's not going to get you out of trouble, but when you use it correctly, it identifies you in a separate jurisdiction, which is the federal government, where you are then a national and you are the highest on the ladder. When you use your driver's license, you're saying you're a member of the states as an employee or property, or essentially almost like an indentured slave. They give you your privileges and benefits. They can tell you what to do, but when you're in the right standing, you are their boss. We the people. I mean, that says it all right there. Yeah, do not ever give them unless you are a licensed driver and they can show you by law. Otherwise, always don't ever give them your social security number. Stick to your guns. You give them that social, they're going to run. They're using it to make money. It's actually a federal crime for them to request your social because that is for your retirement. But what they're doing is they're accessing the Cesta K trust, or the general trust as they call it, and making money. The cops usually don't even know. But see, here's the thing: you don't know the cop, so you just gave him your social. You could sell it to some people. There are dirty cops out there, and the ones who aren't dirty who ask for it, they're legitimately just asking because their boss says, "Hey, get this," and then it gets on some document, and then somewhere in the court system they're using it to make money off of you. The judge might even be doing it. There might be all in cahoots. There's no law. So you guys have to start asking them, what law says I have to give you the social? Show it to me in writing from the legal department. If they don't do that, that's a federal number. That is not a state number. There's no law that says you have to give them your social security number. It tells you right on the back of the damn thing it ain't even yours. The passport application tells you that generally nobody's supposed to ask you for it except for us. But even then, they've admitted that they're really not supposed to ask for it. Ask for it doesn't mean you have to give it to them. Or, and I'm not telling you to do this, but let's just say, educationally speaking, their 98 number underneath their same name, and if and when bothered, they give them the 98 number, which then also means that your entity is foreign, and there's not much they can do with it. I'm just saying, no, there's no law that says you have to give it to them. Does anybody know if you can do this in Greece? Yathou, tikanis, kala. Every country, and let me say this carefully, is essentially being corporatized or has been corporatized. But that doesn't mean that every country has an easy remedy. If you're in England, Britain, everything there is essentially property of the king now. Even the people there are their property. That's why, like, our nation here with our Constitution, Declaration, and whatever, and everything else is so unique and so powerful. Other places, a lot of these remedies are probably there, but you're going to find them probably under religious. You may be able to use indigenous, because if you were born there, you're technically legally indigenous. Though we tend to think of the only indigenous people are the ones of color in the tribes and in the, get up. But you may be able to utilize religious, indigenous, or even though they say it's worldwide, you may or may not be able to use this. I think you can, is the VCCR, which is like the Vienna Convention for something rights or international rights. So look up international rights and VCCR, or is it VCCA? One of the two. And use that. But remember, be respectful, because these people are used to not being challenged. So I'll tell you this. If you don't have any of those exemptions or protections, then it's going to take waking up and sharing a lot of this information carefully, privately, and then petitioning one way or another the government to change, or maybe it's time for a governmental change in your particular country. What do you think about building an island on a reef in the ocean, create your own nation? Yeah, you could do that. Yep. Okay, so Silent Walker says Canada is equivalent to the UCCSPPSA. Yeah, I know that. I've been getting hit up by a lot of people in different countries asking for help and remedies, and I try to put them. What's going on, Texan? New Jersey? I like the word squared away in there. Nobody. 23. So yeah, you've been on 2 years. Okay. I think I started this channel back in 2014. Yeah, I think it was 2014. Never expected it to make it even where we're at this point, but I'm glad for you guys. They still create an SSN for the account for the passport. It's commercial pass through, but that's why they asked for the commercial. When I made a video. Yeah, they. So, and for those people who don't know, Brandon, though never a formal student, is definitely one that got his start from me. He still admits that. Bought all my materials, learned everything he could. Wanted to be a student, but I was definitely not. Still yet, really don't take on students. I just tell people read the stuff, watch the videos. It's too much to try to sit down and have a class for everybody and to like educate, all that kind of stuff. It's different people coming in and out at different times and different knowledge levels. But that's why I make the videos. But yeah, so even if you don't put a social on there, they basically just zero it out. I personally think that they still without our knowledge, look you up, find the best social that matches, and they have a secondary layer of computer information and attach it. But if, educationally speaking, if you don't put it on the application, they can't put it on the public side. Which, for people who may have child support or certain IRS challenging issues, if you don't put it on there, then they can't penalize you for it. But they know what's going on. They see everything. I mean, I'll tell you this. If the GOV wanted to know the temperature of my ass in this chair right now, they could text it to me right now. All right. Looks like my laptop is saying my battery is low. Let's see where we're at percentage-wise. Oh, I do have my energy saver on. Oh, 12%. All right. So, good people. We're going to have to wrap it up in a couple of minutes. If everything shuts down, understand that's probably what happens. So I'm going to try to beat that. I'm going to speed through a couple of questions and then go enjoy the rest of my Sunday. And I want you guys to do the same. I may or may not jump on later. I doubt it. A lot of people are saying don't go to jury duty. You're supposed to almost always provide them with a reply, though if you do not respond, then there's definitely no form of joinder. Okay. Sorana, how you doing? Good evening to you as well. Okay, a lot of this is you guys talking back and forth. Yeah, some people said no birth date, no social. I haven't done the no birth date part. What I'm toying with, and I guess I'll give you guys the inside right now, is doing a passport where I don't put almost any information but like a mailing address on the first page. They have my birth document, and the second page is for the state citizen anyway. I believe the first page is for the U.S. citizen, is my belief. But I got to let you guys go because it's going to cut off, and I don't want to leave you guys stranded or thinking something wily just occurred. I appreciate each and every one of you guys for being on this early. Have a great night. Take care of yourselves. Check out jamesclovett.com. If even just to tell me what you think. I do check still yet all my emails other than the ones that get filtered. And Black Site 32 is still up and running, doing good. So thank you for the support over there. Thank you for the donations. Enjoy yourselves, guys. That being said, I'm going to head out, which is actually just me going in here and finding some food and then relaxing. So I want you guys to do the same. Prayers and shot goes out to A6, my cousin, Grind Time. He's still on the mend. Normally he's on at night. I don't know if he's going to go on tonight. Shot goes out to all the other channels out there who appreciate me, have used my information and throwing shots to me. I throw shots back at you. Some I know about, some I don't, just to be honest. Rebel Studio, what's going on? Shout out to Jeff, Monk, Activated Carbon. Let's see if I can get any other shots out before hopefully it doesn't. Mel, what's going on? Ghost, Raymond. Amina, Rogue, Silent Walk. I think I got you earlier. HMMM. All right. Low. All right. Appreciate each and every one of you guys. Hey, thank you guys. You guys rock. Take care of yourselves. Just know that I really sincerely do appreciate you guys and look at you guys as like my family for real. Like I talk to you guys more than I talk to most of my family. Most of them have also passed away, so it is what it is. So we all one speed as wolves. We all run together. We can agree to disagree, but let's get there together. We leave nobody behind. If I eat, you guys eat. All right. Lots of good stuff on Black Side 32. Check out jameslevitt.com. Also on Black Side 32 is my social media page, which then tells you which social medias I'm on, the real me. Do not send anybody money that way. Everything I do is through blackside32.com. All right, guys, take care. I appreciate you guys. And I've got a lot of new fire things coming your way. So get ready. We're about to shake some stuff up. All right. But I believe in you guys. Have a great day. Talk to you later. Woo! Woo, woo, woo. Bad Wolf is out.